Evening, you're not meant to be looking at that. Let's just kill that quickly. Oh, you weren't meant to be looking at that. You're meant to be looking at that. But that's enough of that. Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. Ring Calf again tonight. Stickers still available. Hit me up, darksmoker at googlemail.com. Bosh. Let's get ourselves in. Evening. I'm just going to have a play with my camera. I'm not quite sure what it's doing or where it's pointing or it's a better. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I suppose. Evening. How are we all doing? Right, let me put the sound on quickly because I got harassed for leaving it off last week. Not last week, week before. Evening. How are we all doing? Ring Calf action again for you tonight. A little bit of a change, I think. So it's usually been 3-lap races from Nordshleife. I changed it up last week while I was a little bit poorly in the end. But yeah, sounds on Potkind, sounds on you. I tell you what, right? No coverage for Potkind or Old Fiction tonight. Right? Note to self, none for you. So yeah, it looks like they've changed it up. Usually 3-lap races. Looks like they've changed it to 6-lap races. So 10-minute qualifier followed by a 6-lap race. So that'll be interesting. A 10-lap qualifier. Microphone on. Yeah, my microphone's on. You lot, pack it in. Just look. Desktop's on. Microphone's on. Shut up, you lot. Is the sound alright? What do you want turning up or down? Alright? The longer you lot faff, the longer you've got to wait for the start of the race. Evening. Right. Looks like we're about to get things underway, so we're not going to get a chance to look through people. We've got a few new drivers by the look of it. Canyonary, and mostly regulars. So if you are listening, just let me know. Sound's coming through okay. You can hear it all right. It looks like we're getting underway for qualifying any second. Here it goes. Get ourselves in. So it's GT3 class cars here from Nurburgring Nordshleife. Again, a 10-minute qualifier just starting. Tell me if the sound's on. I should probably be repeating that all night until somebody does. And yeah, so we've got a 10-minute qualifier, which means an out lap and one hot lap. So you need to get it right on the hot lap. Well, you need to make it around this entire lap anyway, but in fact, while they're on the out laps, let me just drop out of that lobby quickly, have a look at the event settings. So weather. Sunny most of it, a little bit of rain in the middle by the looks of it. And then random at the end. Tyre wear times 5. Fuel consumption times 6. Where's the refill rate on fuel? Have I missed it? Traction control, no limit. Maybe for qualifying, but racing prohibited. What did I see for fuel refilling? Was that somewhere? Where was that? Where's that? Oh, 4 litres a second. There you go for refueling. So with that now sorted out, let's put the nonsense on while they're still on these out laps. Nothing to really look at now at the moment. Well, unless people are crashing into walls. We will have a browse at some liveries though. Just got The old Aldi livery going on tonight has Potkind, interesting. Alongside, not quite sure what's on the side. Cityscape of some description, is it? Old Fiction in the NSX. Gauman's Schmaus livery, whatever that is. Bit of Jack Daniels. Some hench chicken on the front. Singularis in a pink Porsche GT3. Skyline of Prunkster, am I saying? Yeah, Prunkster, that's right. Beast of the Green Hell, so let's see if it lives up to its name tonight. Ace Killer, still in the slightly Halloween themed Speed Team Warp Systems liveried BMW. Mark's got back to the green this week. Jesus, he's gone for the Hulk liveried Porsche. Roadrunner, still got the Roadrunner livery. Witty crashing into walls backwards. Got the Monster Energy livery going on that one. Who did we miss? Piwo. So he's in that little Renault, pink and white for that one. Another Porsche for Bondo. What's that all about? Oh, Jägermeister. Okay. And Canyon Henry. Quite sure, black and gold. Can't quite see what's on the door there. Not bad looking. Right. Okay, driver's being overtaken, but again, it is just an outlap at the minute. Please switch to Roadrunner. He is the best. Come on, let's give him some. There he is. Look. There he is. Look, he's getting some. He's getting some airtime. Look. Donkey shot as well. Getting the shout outs. Right, let's get ourselves back to the front again. Still on outlap, so nothing really to report on apart from Potkind's managed to find himself with a half-a-second penalty somehow. Won't affect him too much. He'll lose that on the back straight before the hot lap. Old Fiction. See, that's what happens. That's what happens when you. That's karma. Call out the commentator. You crash into walls. There you go. Look, picking up Roadrunner for a bit more airtime. How's he looking in the cockpit? All right, yeah, not too bad. Reasonably relaxed. Renault's an interesting choice as well. It's been pretty quick in sections. Porsche seems to be the favourite here though. NSXs, a couple of BMWs and a couple of GTRs. Usually the odd Mercedes gets thrown in depending who turns up. Canyon Henry struggling I think a little bit here. First time I've seen him in the lobby, so a little bit glitchy. Difficult course to master is Nordshleife. Takes a long time to pick up corners. A lot of them look the same as well when you come into them, so it can catch you out if you're not a regular here. Okay, end of the outlaps coming up then. What are they doing? Top speeds similar? No. Porsche. Potkind a little bit slower, but maybe just giving Prunkster a bit of space then before they start their hot laps now. So Prunkster out front then. It's all about those clean laps now. Oh, clean lap, that's all they've got, just one. We've seen Popkind already picking up a penalty, so it's not just about those clean laps, keeping it on track. Not bashing into any of the other drivers, obviously. Jesus, pretty close to Mark here. Benefit him in sections, but if he gets too close, Mark makes any kind of mistake, it could affect Jesus' lap time as well. So a little bit close for my liking in terms of qualifying space. Same for Piwo and Roadrunner there, a little bit close. Old Fiction, after calling out the commentator, has crashed into the wall and is now in 10th on the grid at the minute. See what his lap time is. Canyon Henry sitting in the pits then. Okay, maybe just going to qualify in last and be happy with it. So Prunkster out front then. Looks like he's got a little bit of gap between himself and anybody else. Yeah, a couple of few seconds there between him and Popkind. Again, don't think I've seen this driver in the lobbies before. Stay hydrated, people. God damn. Made that strong tonight. Whoa, finished the bottle off. Oh, maybe that was a bad idea. You remember me saying last week before, that stuff goes down really easy. Well, god damn. Just launched the vape on the floor. It's enough for you, Popkind. He's killer in the little BMW. I say little. It's flipping massive for a GT3. Aren't in the same car there. Jesus, even closer to him now. Again, just got to be careful because he'll pick up a slipstream on places like this, but it might bring him a little bit too close. See, again, it is just the qualifying session at the minute, so this is hot lap, one chance only. They've had their out laps. It is hot lap on now. So again, down here, slowly catching marks using that slipstream. Maybe it's not as effective as I first thought. Is the Roadrunner still being hunted by Piwo? Who's that? Oh, that's Jesus just in front. Okay, so they're all reasonably, not Singularis in fact. Why aren't... Oh. Oh, they're catching up with Singularis. Okay. So why can't I... What is going on with that? That's freaking me out. I think people, it's showing people in different parts of the track when they're not. Oh, sorry, they're showing them in the wrong position when they're not. Okay, getting towards the end of these hot laps then. Franken Henry, or sorry, Canyon Henry has decided to sit this one out. Didn't get on in the out lap very well, so just sitting out the rest of the qualifying, drop himself into the race. Prunkster though managed to find gaps up front and Managed to stay away from everybody else, putting a reasonably clean qualifying lap from what I've seen. Again, pulled a lot of time from the drivers behind. Is it going to be enough to secure pole for race one? We'll have to wait and see. Round the carousel. Oof. Tail gets a little bit light round there, but he manages to pick it up. Full tilt for him then. 5:35 as he drops underneath the Audi Sport barrier. 5:36, apologies, read that wrong. Kind. 5:45. He's Killer, I think, a little bit quicker through there as well. Okay, almost everybody on that back straight now, so let's see what these qualifying times are going to say. Last corner for Prunkster. Gets the hammer down towards the line, and it is a 6:19. What will Popkind do? Oh, his Killer's in front of him. His Killer goes second. Popkind goes, oh, he gets moved down. Mark goes second, so finds a little bit extra in the tank. Still a couple of drivers left across the line, so it is Prunkster on pole still. I think that's Whitty way off the pace. So yeah, 1.6 seconds quicker than Mart. Mart currently in second. Bondo into a third then. Jesus fourth. Roadrunner fifth. Old Fiction sixth. Piwo seventh. Ace Killer in eighth. Popkind ninth. Singularis 10th. Whitty across the line. Oh, he's not crossed the line yet, but he will be 11th. And Canyon Henry, who didn't finish qualifying, will start at the back. See that? We got to see Whitty and a checkered flag. Amaze balls. It's coming, Whitty. Come on, Whitty. Come on, Whitty. So that's qualifying over. And then now we drop into these 6-lap races, which, what's that? Well, 3 laps is usually about 25 minutes, so you're looking at almost an hour here. But it is this man on pole. Again, just managed to find that space out front. Escaped the maddening crowds, didn't pick up any penalties. And takes pole. Can he bring it in the race though? Has he got the strategy? Obviously there's no fuel, no tyre wear in qualifying, so it's just foot to the board. You can have traction control on, ABS, all that sort of stuff. So it almost doesn't quite, but it's very close to auto drive, you know. But has he got it down in the strategy? Tyres, fuel, stops. Does he get it right? Has he looked at weather? You know, I know a lot of the names in this lobby are sort of regulars. Prunkster obviously not being a regular. You can bring it all you want in qualifying, but if you've not sort of read the rules, seen the small print, so to speak, it might all come as a shock when you enter your second, third lap and realise you're not going to make it because you run out of fuel, which we've seen many a week with some of the new drivers that turn up. Don't quite realise that fuel is on ×9 or something, and you'll get a lap and a half before you're out. So you've got to stop at the end of every lap, that sort of thing. But we'll see. That looks so aggressive. That looks so aggressive, me. Rah! So I'm telling somebody off. I'm watching the stream over here. I'm just so I can keep up with comments and all that sort of stuff, because I know it's a little bit delayed. Okay, so still hanging about. Obviously the timer's still ticking away because it still thinks Canyoneri is going to pop out the pits and go for a lap, but that is not going to happen. There it is. There are your qualifying results. Sudoku evening, Prunkster on pole then, Mart 2nd, Bondo 3rd, Jesus in 4th, Roadrunner 5th, Old Fiction 6th, Piwo 7th, Ace Killer in 8th, Potkind Vectra in 9th, Singularis 10th, Witty in 11th, and Canyon Henry in 12th, although didn't finish qualifying. Start at 22 minutes past a flipping heck. Late start. Usually, most weeks it's no qualifying, it's 3-lap races, no qualifying, and it just first race is by driver rating, and then everything else after that is reverse grid. Times 5, tyre times 6, fuel confirmed. Yep. Leo Larman didn't last long, did he? Came in and then he went. I've changed my juice. I've got to turn the power up. So, race should, here we go, getting the countdown now. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Go! Couldn't hold my look. I couldn't hold my breath. Good luck, everybody. There we go. Let's have a clean race. Yeah, well said, Mark. Okay, so grid order sorted out then. Prunkster going to lead us around. Mark 2nd, Bondo 3rd, Jesus 4th, Roadrunner in 5th, Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to, in 6th. Lights are on then. Not held for too long. No false starts from what I can see. Prunkster. Wow, I can hear the cars almost spinning around. Tyres were being let loose around the first few turns there. So Prunkster leads then. He's on a medium tyre here. Soft tyre for stint 1. Mart's also on a soft tyre. Jesus, soft tyre. Oh no, we have got collision in the background. Ace Killer's already found himself with a half a second penalty there. Old Fiction on the soft. Ace Killer has gone for the medium tyre with that half a second penalty. Okay. Potkind has gone for softs. Softs on for Singularis. It is softs on for Piwo. Witty on the mediums. Canyon Henry on the softs. And Bondo, who is now pointing in the right direction, on a set of softs. So who was T-boning you? Was it Piwo? Might have been Piwo involved in that one. So Prunkster then 1.6 seconds up the road, 1.7 seconds up the road from DIA 3SP Mart. On board with the second place man. Just look at the his point of view. keeping the Nissan in check currently, 1.6 seconds still. Again, we'll just have to keep an eye on the tyre wear, fuel use, that sort of thing, try and work out pit strategies. Jesus in third then, Roadrunner fourth. Old Fiction we're not giving any coverage to tonight. There he is. In fifth, Ace Killer in sixth, so he'll lose that penalty on the back straight. Needs to get a decent amount of time ahead of anybody else, so as not to lose a position when he drops that penalty. We'll keep an eye on that though. Potkind is seventh. Fair amount of wear showing up on the soft tyres already. Pivo in, Singularis in 8th, Pivo 9th, Canyoneri 10th, got himself past Whitty in 11th, and there's Bondo right on his tail now as well. So Prunkster out front pulls more time over Marks, 2.4 seconds. Soft tyres on both of these cars looking very similar. DucoHeating.com. Warp Systems, go check them out. There is a little battle happening behind. Jesus then just managed to get himself a little bit of breathing room from that duo behind. Roadrunner and Old Fiction, both very close together. It's time to pull back Jesus now, the three of them. In direct view behind. Chase still on here then. Into the carousel. Late braking for the NSX. Oof, catches right up on Roadrunner through there. Not giving Old Fiction any kind of airtime anyway. He's been abusing commentator, so we don't get to see what he's doing. There he is. Potkind then. In 6th, having a little bit of a lonely race, I'll say that. He's got Ace Killer hot on his tail there in 7th. Looking for a way past then, Ace Killer. Just can't do it, can't find a way through. Definitely looks quicker than Potkind. He's just going to bide his time though. He's having to brake a split second earlier than he wants to. Yeah, he's not able to carry as much speed through some of these turns, which I think is compromising his line, as you can see. He wants quite like Potkind to just go and crash himself off right about there. Okay, all right. Right, you do it there then, Potkind. On cue, don't you know? So Ace Killer through to 6th then. Potkind back on track, 7th. Singularis right behind him now in 8th. Pivo 4.5 seconds back, so lost a bit of time. Bondo up into 10th then, got himself past Whitty and Canyoneri. Canyoneri actually had another little accident and he's dropped himself to 12th, right behind Whitty though. Both drivers having incidents or accidents here then. So there is the gap up front. Prunkster in the Nissan, 5.5 seconds up the road. Soft tyres, you could risk another lap on those, but you would be crying out at the end of it. Same for Mart, he's used over half a tank of fuel as well there. Now what's Prunkster going to do? Oh, he's not come in. Okay, all right, we'll see what that does for him. Mart does come in. I can imagine Roadrunner, yeah, and Jesus come in. He's Killer through to 5th. He's going to stay out, I think. He's got enough fuel. He's got plenty of life left in those mediums. Singularis stays out. Again, plenty of fuel. Not so much life in those tyres. We'll see how he gets on with those though. Bondo stays out as well. Everybody risking it for 2 laps on the softs. We'll see how they get on with that one. So Mart, if he's coming in every lap for a set of tyres. Oh no, he's greasy. Oh no, that's going to be... Jesus, he got himself stuck or something on the exit of the pits. So Mart has opted for a hard tyre here, full tank. Let's see what that does for him later on in the race. So all sorts of strategies being played out here then. Prunkster then stayed out. Look at the tyres already, look, over 3/4 worn. We're only a quarter of the way into this second lap here. He's got plenty of fuel on, I think, but those tyres aren't looking like they're going to last another 3/4 of a lap. Ace Killer on his mediums might be able to close that gap down. It is pretty big at the minute, 17 seconds. Still life left in those softs up front as well, but they will slowly but surely slow him down. Singularis then stays out as well in third. If you look at the life of the amount of tyre left on the Porsche versus the Nissan, there's a hell of a lot more on that Porsche than there is on the Nissan, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Bondo in fourth, he stayed out. Canyon Henry stayed out. Roadrunner came in, put a set of mediums on. Mart came out on the hard tyre. Jesus came out on the mediums. Mediums for Pivo, mediums for Whitty. Potkind has also gone for the hard tyre option, and Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to tonight, has gone for the mediums. There he is in the NSX, but we're not giving him any coverage. Oof, look at that, front left, almost gone. He's still got 17 plus seconds over Ace Killer, so the tyre's not completely dead yet. Coming up to just about the halfway point. Oh, there we go, there we go. It just stopped him turning right there. Onto the grass he went. It's corners like that that's going to cost him. How has he managed to keep 17.5 seconds, even though he's driven into the wall and the Armco? I don't know. Ah, he loses it now then. Seconds, so 3 seconds plus. Prunkster's lost to Ace Killer with that little mistake. Again, down to the tyres. Should have enough fuel on, but again, those tyres are going to start costing him. The time is starting to fall now. Singularis as well. Still got a little bit of life left in those softs, but he's just got to be careful as well. The latter part of this lap, they will be costing him a bit of time. Same for Bondo. Everybody else, I think, has been in the pits. Roadrunner on the mediums. Mart on those hards. He's got Pivo, Jesus closing up on him. So Pivo on the mediums, Jesus on the mediums. Oh, he's been into the wall, has Jesus. Picked up a little bit of damage. Slowed him down by the looks of it. And he's also got, who's that? Canyon Henry closing up on him. Not been in the pits yet, Canyon Henry. Oh, Jesus, struggling around there. So, hard tyre, not looking like it's costing Mark too much time at the moment. Will obviously last a hell of a lot longer than the soft tyres, and a little bit longer than the mediums. Okay, front left dead and buried on Prunkster's car. Front right is just around the corner from being dead and buried, and the rears aren't too far away either. The gap is down to 9 seconds. Oof, Ace Killer risking it though, he's pushing. Fortunately, both drivers will have to come in the pits at the end of this lap. Ace Killer close the gap, possibly overtake him before they get there. Gain the advantage on the way out, do the little pit stop jump, we'll see. He's got more fuel on board than Prunkster as well, so that might just help him out. And that gap is falling, 5.5 seconds. We are coming onto the Dottinger straight now though. Mini carousel just gone through for Prunkster. There is Ace Killer right in the background. Having to go slow through these, Prunkster. Look at this, that gap tumbling. Ace Killer trying to get himself within tow range before they hit this fast section. It is falling. He has got himself a little bit of a tow now coming up the Dottinger straight. That Nissan with its broken tyres is pulling Ace Killer towards him. Gearbox not maybe set up quite as well as it could be. 167, 68 miles an hour. Probably get a few more miles an hour out of that, but it might cost you in terms of acceleration. Right up on the tail of Prunkster, sorry, as they come in the pits. Tyres absolutely dead on Prunkster's car then. Both drivers almost in the pits simultaneously. Again, Ace Killer holds that little bit tiny more fuel on board. So depending on how much they take. Singularis, yeah. Porsche tyres dead as well coming through there. Bondo tyres dead. Roadrunner on the mediums, plenty of life left in those. Doesn't need fuel, so continues through. Piwo's got himself past Mart. Excuse me. He stays out as well on that medium tyre. Oof. Ace Killer just exits the pit right behind him. And he does get out ahead of Prunkster. All sorts of strategies being played out here then. Ace Killer out of that pit in third, only taking on board half a tank. Fresh set of softs again. Kenyon Henry's left the room, so he's obviously not got on too well. Fed up with crashing into the walls and being last and not racing anybody, and off he's gone. So Mart stays out on his hard tyres. Really well on fuel there as well. Used about a third of a tank, just over maybe. Might have to do a tiny bit more fuel saving if he goes for a 3-lap stint on those hards. There is Prunkster back out the pits. Medium tyres on board, full tank of fuel. So mid-pack for him then. Singularis comes out, full tank, medium tyres. Bondo's gone for the same. Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to tonight, has got just under half a tank and a decent set of mediums on board. Jesus, fresh mediums and full tank. Witty, half a tank, half worn mediums, and Potkind with a semi-worn set of hards, just under 3/4 of a tank. Yeah, we have lost a Canyon Henry. So it's currently Roadrunner leading. Piwo is closing up on him. They have got Ace Killer in the background as well. BMW, Renault, Porsche battle here then. Fresh soft tyres on board for Ace Killer as well. He's only doing that 1 lap on these tyres. He's only taking on enough fuel to do 1 lap on these tyres. He's putting them to good use here. Trying to get past these drivers on the slower tyre. Little bit of contact. Just a second between these three. Ace Killer's got to pick his spot though. He knows he's got the grippier tyres. Can accelerate earlier than these boys. Brake later, turn tighter. Out of this right-hander, he needs. Oh, he's stuck one up the inside of Piwo there. That's a great move, just found enough space. Where is Pivo? Trying to go for the move back on him, but he's going to be on the outside of all these turns coming through here. And he does have to fall back behind Ace Killer. This Ace Killer then hunts down top spot now. Dragging Pivo along. Getting a good tow along here is Ace Killer. Tyres in a lot better condition as well. Roadrunner runs a little bit wide. Ace Killer coming right up on his tail through the little right hand kink. Oh, off road again for Roadrunner. Trying to stay out of the way as Ace Killer does come through. A little bit dirty tyres on for Roadrunners. Just cost him a little bit of speed around that corner. And Pivo is going to have that position off him as well, I think. Yes, he is. Just carries a little bit more speed up there than Roadrunner. So that drops Ace Killer into the lead of this race. Pivo second. Roadrunner MTK in third. Now, can Ace Killer escape enough? Let me just have a look. So these boys are going to have to come in the pits anyway at the end of this lap. Ace Killer needs to start pulling away here then, which he has managed to do. 1.6 seconds gap. Gain an advantage again when he comes in the pits. Pivo in that second position then. Roadrunner third. Mart on the hard tyre in fourth. He's now got Prunkster for company. Medium tyres on board for the Nissan. Mart's perfectly within his rights to make that BMW as wide as possible, but maybe not that wide. Prunkster's got to work his way past cleanly. Might be a slightly slower tyre on board with the hard tyre versus the medium, but it's going to be a good battle at least. Again, not just holding his own at the moment against the slightly faster tyre. And closing up under slipstream. A lot better acceleration. He's having to back off the throttle. He's just waiting until the dotting is straight by the looks of it, or a mistake from Mike. Doesn't have to push too hard at the moment. Another 2 laps to get this one right, and we've got a strategy still all in play. So Ace Killer still on that top spot at the minute, headed down the dotting is straight. Here we go then, Prunkster. He's just going to go for the straight overtake here. Now, what does Mart do? Slots himself into the slipstream, but I think the Nissan just carrying way too much speed for Mart to pick up a tow, is it? No, he does just pick up a tow. Keeps himself out of half a second off the back end of the Nissan. Maybe he's put that BMW into full power mode. Again, I think he was just saving a little bit of fuel. Ace Killer, Pivo, Roadrunner in the pits then. I think Prunkster, no, Prunkster's got plenty of fuel in that, and plenty of life left in those tyres. But he'll have to come in at the end of the end of this lap, as will Mart. Ace Killer still in the pits then, taking on board the fuel. Gets released. Stays ahead of Pivo, stays ahead of Roadrunner. So it looks like he's going for another hot, fast lap here then, Ace Killer. He's gone for that half tank and a fresh set of softs again. He's now 13 seconds behind the 2 drivers in front. Is this man back into the lead of the race? He did qualify first, lost the lead in the pits. Here he is back up front. 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds ahead of Mart here. Again, Mart's been on a fuel saving sort of long, hard tyre stint with these for his second stint. Oof, is there a little bit of rain coming in? Yes, there is. Whoa, well, that could mix things right up, couldn't it? So, which tyre's best in the wet out of the softs, the mediums and the hards? Probably none. No rain for Prunkster at the minute. Maybe it's just a little particular part of the track. Maybe so. No rain anymore for Mart either. Ace Killer through 2/3, 6 seconds now behind Mart, 13 seconds still behind race leader. But again, he's on that soft tyre. He's pushing hard, going for those single lap punch-ups really, but is he losing more time in the pits than he is gaining out on track? I don't know. Singularis then in 4th. So he has got, oh no, he's got 3 more laps to do. This lap, lap 5 and lap 6. I was going to say he might be able to make it to the end, but no, he won't. Don't be daft. Singularis, Bondo, Piwo, Roadrunner, all pretty close. But, Jesus just tucked onto the back end of this one as well. A lot of Porsches ganging up on a little tiny Renault. Hotkind in 9th then. Having a bit of a race of his own at the minute. Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to at all tonight. He's in 10th, 5.2 seconds behind in that NSX. Witty, 48 seconds, only 48 seconds behind Old Fiction. Now, it says 1 minute 59 behind race leader, fine. Because that's where Witty would usually be at the end of 3 laps. So, you know, he's doing all right. We'll leave him alone. Witty for the win. Prunkster making this look easy at the moment. Mark then under pressure from teammates. Ace Killer. Excuse me. That faster tyre making short work of him then straight round the outside. Mark giving him plenty of room as well. Not making it a big issue. Again, slightly grippier tyres with the softs on versus the hards. Oh, Mart very low on fuel actually. He's going to have to be real careful here. He's going to have to do some massive fuel saving, I think, at certain points. Singularis not too far behind him either. That fuel saving could cost him, especially running up that back straight. Bondo 5th, Piwo 6th. Oof, Jesus, hot on the tail of Roadrunner. Nowhere for him to go. Again, Nordshleife, as good as a fantastic racetrack as it is, difficult to overtake. It's not the widest of circuits in all places, and the second you're in any kind of position to get into an overtake, well, there's a corner. So it can be a little bit tricky. We have seen it done as a little bit wide there for Roadrunner. Corner after corner after corner, you've got to get yourself right in the exact position and make the move perfectly almost to make it work before the next corner without taking yourself and the other driver out. So Hotkind 9th then. Old Fiction still a few seconds off the back of him. Witty losing a little bit more time. Still at it though, you've got to give him it. Prunkster heading up the Dottinger straight then. Should have enough fuel to complete this lap. Ace Killer the same. Mart should have, I think, might have to go into a little bit of fuel saving. .162 along the Dottinger straight. He's keeping his foot planted at least. He's going to be on the run up the hill if he does run out of fuel. Prunkster's already in the pits then. 2 laps remaining. What is his strategy going to be? Set of mediums, full tank. That would be the prime option, really. He's Killer in behind him. Mark managed to make it to the pits. Singularis. He's going to stay out. He'll have to come in at the end of the next lap. He's not got enough to complete the full race. Bondo stays out as well. Pivo stays out. Roadrunner stays out. Jesus in. Potkind. He's going to have to come in. He's running out of fuel. Old Fiction. Oh, Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to tonight, decided he was going to try a lap on intermediates, expecting a bit of rain to come, which it did for about 2-3 corners. And now his intermediates are bleeding, pretty much. That's what they're doing. So let's have a look then. Still, not all pit stops are done and dusted. We have a few of these drivers out front now having to pit at the end of this lap. It is currently Singularis leading. Bondo in second. Pivo in that little Renault in third. So Pivo could finish this race, but he will be running slow, I think, running the fuel saving coming into the last couple of laps. Again, Singularis won't be able to do the last 2 laps, so he'll have to come in at the end of this lap. Tyres are worn out, his fuel's going to be wanting to be filled up as well. Bondo, pretty similar position. He'll need a bit of fuel and certainly a set of tyres. Pivo, those hards should last him 2 more laps. It's just if he can save the fuel. That's the key issue for Pivo. Prunkster, on the other hand, he's gone full tank of fuel and a fresh set of mediums. And as long as he doesn't burn those out too quickly, they should be good for 2 laps. Roadrunner hards and just about enough fuel for the next 2 laps as well. Ace Killer, full tank of fuel, fresh mediums. Mart has gone for the same thing, full tank of fuel, fresh mediums. Jesus, full tank of fuel, fresh mediums. Old Fiction has taken the intermediates off, not that we saw because we're not giving him any coverage tonight. He's got a set of mediums on and full tank of fuel. Potkind, same, full tank of fuel and mediums. Whitty just in the pits. Oh, Whitty. Whitty's got a bit of damage on his car. Top 4 pretty close together then. Prunkster is going to be the faster out of all of them. He's got the fresher tyres out of the lot. He'll be quite happy to get past you lot ASAP. Oof, Pivo running a little bit slow through there. Prunkster just getting the hammer down on that Nissan. Again, I think Pivo's got a little bit of a fuel save going on. He's trying to run long on the hard tyre strategy. We'll catch up with that later, see how he gets on. Prunkster then moves up a position into third. Bondo next on his target. And there is Singularis out front in the little Porsche, pink Porsche. Closing up on Bondo then. Should be able to get the move done here. Bondo backs off the throttle, just allows him to come through. Now on the chase for that top spot, Singularis then, who could possibly also, I don't think he needs to do fuel saving on this lap. Look how quick Prunkster in that Nissan has just chopped through those 3 drivers. Sitting in 4th, currently 2nd. Looking for the overtake on Singularis ASAP. Your Vader just joining the lobby, so we might see him. How long do these races left? Yeah, you might see him in race 2. Yeah, look, Punkster having to back off the throttle here behind Singularis, just biding his time, waiting for that right moment, maybe looking for Singularis to make a mistake, or just hanging on to that Dottinger straight. Bondo still there though, less than a second behind, as is Piwo. Roadrunner also on that hard tyre strategy in 5th, being closed up by Ace Killer on those mediums. So what are they? Just 9 seconds behind race leader currently, back here in 6th. Mart in 7th, 12 seconds behind Ace Killer. 27 seconds back is Jesus. Old Fiction another 29 seconds behind Jesus. Big gaps out on track now then. Potkind another 17 seconds back. Oof, and big pile of grass. Oh, and some Armico. Oh, and a little bit more Armico. And we're backwards. That caught him out through there. Carried a little bit too much speed. Out to the right he went. Bouncing off the Armico. Damage on the front end. Whitty a full minute behind him. Okay. Top 4 all bolted back together then, being kind of held up a little bit by Singularis in the top spot. So let's just see how quickly Prunkster makes short work of Singularis on this back straight. Picking up the slipstream then. And this thing getting bigger and bigger. No. Again, maybe just quite happy to sit behind him. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a little bit of a bump draft. He doesn't. He just goes for the flyby on the Porsche. Oh, Singularis trying to come in a little bit early to pick up the slipstream, but it didn't work. But this could be it then. Punkster has plenty of fuel on board, plenty of life left in those tyres. One more lap to go. Keeping it out of the pit wall, hopefully. There he goes, crossing the line. Piwo follows him through. Again, he's on that hard tyre with the fuel saving going on. So we'll see what happens with him. Ace Killer, plenty of fuel and tyres to complete this race then. Roadrunner in a very good position as well. Tyres might let him down. Singularis in the pits. Mart comes through, tyres, fuel looking good. Don't need all the fuel, Singularis. You don't need to fill yourself up, remember. That's it, half a tank. Oh, why wouldn't you? Oh, he has. He's put on a set of soft tyres. Good. Thought we'd opted for mediums, but it takes a little second or two to refresh once he gets released. Bondo also in the pits. I can imagine he's going for the same thing. Fresh set of soft tyres, and don't take on too much fuel. Too much fuel. Damage repaired as well by the looks of it. Here is Old Fiction up towards the line as well, up towards the pits. He doesn't need to stop. Potkind doesn't need to stop either unless he wants to get that damage repaired. Whitty unfortunately will have to stop. So Prunkster then onto this last lap. 8.5 seconds lead from Piwo. Again, Piwo on fuel save mode on that hard tyre. Ace Killer now all over the back of him. Should make short work of the little Renault. And does do. So we are going to see Roadrunner close up as well, I think. He's got plenty of fuel on, so he doesn't have to fuel save as much. Tyres looking very similar. They've all got to be careful because here comes Mart, who his medium tyres fastened all of theirs, and plenty of fuel on for him as well for the rest of this race. And there's Singularis with his fresh set of softs. 15 seconds behind Mart. We'll see how close he is by the end of the race, if he's managed to catch him up or not. Again, Bondo with a fresh set of softs. fiction stays out. There's Jesus with a fresh set of softs. Potkind stays out, and there is Whitty still on the dotting up, a long way back, unfortunately. And Prunkster pulling a little bit more time then. 9.7 seconds the gap between him and Ace Killer. Very similar tyre wear. Slightly more fuel on board for Ace Killer, but I don't think that's going to matter in this final lap. Pushing though, Ace Killer. That BMW getting a little bit loose. There's Piwo just trickling around in the background. There is a Roadrunner. I did say he was going to catch him up. So Piwo less than quarter of a tank on. We're not even at the halfway point of this final lap. There is a Roadrunner. And as I said, Mark was 7 seconds behind these boys. He's now just 2.7. So the pair of them are going to converge up onto Piwo and then have a battle for that third position themselves, I think. Okay, Roadrunner getting it all wrong then. Marked flying through. Didn't go into the wall, just got it a little bit squirrely, I think, coming out of one of those turns. Mark manages to get through then, drops himself into fourth. He's got another 7 seconds to try and chase down Piwo. Again, Piwo has been running a little bit slow with that fuel saving. Lifting and coasting in some of these corners. We'll see, has he got enough fuel on? Back to the front though, it's all looking good for Prunkster. 10.5 seconds lead. Quarter of a tank of fuel on still. Ace Killer got nothing in the tank for the Nissan, the BMW. Maybe a little bit heavier. Ooh, a little bit wide there for Ace Killer. Onto the grass he goes. Piwo, sorry, I thought he'd extended time between himself and Mart, but he hadn't. I'm looking at completely the wrong bit of time. He's 9.5 seconds behind Ace Killer. But Mart, from that 7.5 seconds, is down to 3.7. Could be a podium position if he pushes hard enough. He's running out of corners to do it though. Roadrunner through to 5th then. He's having a little bit of a lonely race. Oh, he's having a sideways race. Oh no for the Roadrunner. Oh no, here comes Singularis as well. He's picked up all the damage there, Roadrunner. It's going to take him a while to get back up to pace. Singularis on those soft tyres comes flying through, so misses out on that 5th position then. Roadrunner, Singularis taking that one off him. We are into the final stages of this last lap then. Prunkster onto the Dottinger now. 12 seconds ahead of Ace Killer. There is Mart hot on the tail of Piwo. Now, what's he got, Piwo? Has he got enough fuel on to get him to the end? Is he going to run out halfway up here? Is he still fuel saving? Mart is closing up now. Very close in terms of speed here. Oh, switches to the outside. It's going to be neck and neck between these two running up the hill. Mart just gets himself in front. Prunkster has taken the lead. Ace Killer will take second. Mart just gets himself ahead. Piwo still with the tiniest little bit of fuel on. Makes it to the line, but Mart does take third. Piwo comes home in 4th. Great little battle between those two on that back straight. Singularis will take 5th then. Just finding his way past Roadrunner. Oh, unfortunately, he's lost another position there. I think all that damage has cost him another position. Singularis taking 5th then. Bondo's managed to get through to take 6th. Here comes Roadrunner. All that damage, I think, has just cost him another corner somewhere. I think he's gone into a corner, been caught, spun him into a wall, and he's lost another position. So he will take 7th. There he is. Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to at all tonight. Sitting in 8th into these last couple of corners. No coverage for you, Old Fiction. Eighth place for him then. Jesus will take 9th. Oh, Potkind, no fuel. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Witty. Come on, Witty. Come on, Witty. Push it. Potkind's out of fuel, look. I don't think you're going to make it around there before he takes that position. We do see Jesus cross the line, though. We might not see these two. Potkind got nothing in the tank. Witty, plenty of corners back from him, unfortunately. And I don't think we're going to see either of those drivers cross the line. No, we're not even going to see Witty's headlights. That's a bit boring. Let's look at Witty going a bit faster, potentially crashing. A few corners to go though before he hits carousel and then the back straight. It might all be over before then. But one day, there it is. One day we're going to see a Witty cross that line. We're going to see a checkered flag for that boy. Brutal LMP Racing from Prunky, or the Prunkster. Race 1 win in the bag then. So, at the start, I said, does Prunkster know his strategy? Has he got it all right? Has he got his fuel and his timing right and all that? Seems to have. He seems to have, doesn't he? New driver in the lobby. Who's that? Whoopin 2B. Whoopin. Okay, so it looks like we're getting one more race in tonight. Where are you going, Prunkster? We've got one more to go. Too late. I was going to say there's another one yet. I will. So we'll see what, if Whoopin sticks about, we'll see what Whoopin's got. Oh, we've lost a Mart as well. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this big jacket off because it's getting a bit warm in here with all these electronics. Alright. Let's see what Potkind's done to the room. Has he just reverse gridded it? He's given us another 10-minute quali. Six laps. Oh, dirty rain, look. Oof. At the end, that could catch some drivers out. Tyre wear times 7. Fuel consumption rate times 5. Where did I see? Oh, 40 a second still on fuel refill. Traction control prohibited. Ban it. Ban it forever. Are you still having quali, or is it reverse grid? Drop that in there. Are we having another quali, or is it reverse grid? Oh, looks like we're having another quali. So, same again then. 10 minutes. 10-minute qualifier with a 6-lap race. I should only have one qualifying a night here, especially at Nordshleife. You know, like, 8 minutes of outlap. Come on now. Okay, where is that new driver? Whoopin, sorry. Whoopin. Just leaving the pits now there. I didn't see what car he was in. Oh, he's in the Lexus. Okay. Ouch. Okay, alright. Speedy Double XL has joined us as well. Also in the Lexus. A snake livery on the side of that one. I didn't see you join the lobby, Double XL, sorry. Your Vater as well, he did join halfway through race 1. I saw him pop up. Let's have a quick look at his livery, shall we? What does that say? Sunday Breakfast Cup on the side. And then some German stuff. Rust is lighter than carbon fibre. Beg to differ, but you know, I suppose it depends where it is. Rust might not be on the car anymore. Might be on the track somewhere, so possibly. Speedy in his snake-skinned ring calf liveried Lexus. Whooping out on track yet? Yes, he is. He's on the controller. He's a controller gang, but look, apparently he loves weed. Look. Oops. Can't quite see what's on his spoiler. Same thing. And a smiley face and some bullet holes. Why not? But controller gang in the house with Whoopin 2B. We'll see how he gets on. Again, just outlaps at the minute, no tyre wear, no fuel depletion, just foot to the floor, traction control on, ABS if you want it. Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to tonight at all, in his NSX. No coverage for you. Roadrunner had a couple of accidents in race 1. Let's see how he gets on in race 2. He's not doing too bad in race 1. Your Veta, fresh to the lobby tonight, but regular to this one. There is Pivo back in the Renault. Oh no! Oh no! Pivo just getting a tap there by Potkind Vectra, I think. He's managed to stay with those drivers in front. Not picked up any damage either, so lucky for him. Everybody else in the same car. Whoa. A little bit sideways there for Whoopin. Potkind. He's crashed and dropped himself back in the pits, so he's on another outlap here. Probably not going to see the end of his qualifying. Killer now out front then. He's got a clear track behind him, I think. Not quite. Old Fiction a few seconds behind. Not within any danger of crashing into the back of him just yet anyway. Not that we're giving Old Fiction any kind of coverage tonight at all. A big pile of Porsches. Again, popular in these Ringcaf lobbies, the Porsche. Pivo opts in for that Renault again. Bondo in another Porsche. Jesus in a Porsche. Got Wubben in a Lexus. Witty in a Nissan. Meant to fall into that whole Witty. Speedy XL. Oh no, Speedy. Speedy no. Speedy in another Lexus here. A little bit wrong, and Potkind Vectra, who we've seen crash into the wall. Unfortunately, he's put himself back in the pits, so he's a long way down from everybody else. Looks like Speedy has either done something very similar to that, or he's just had many crashes. Boring outlaps. Okay, hot laps start now then. Only one opportunity to stick a good one in, so you've got to make it count. Old Fiction actually closed up a little bit on Ace Killer, maybe. Looks slightly closer on track. Maybe picked up a mile an hour extra on the Dottinger straight. No penalties on board. We won't really know how people are getting on until they cross the line, really. Not unless we hang about every driver at every timing mark, and nope, we're not doing that. So nobody got a penalty on board at the minute. Not so bad if you're still on your outlap. You can lose your penalty along this straight, but anywhere after that penalty drop zone, that is it. You will hold that penalty all the way around that hot lap and lose it on that back straight. So Speedy and Potkind a long way down from the rest of the field. Speedy off track as well through there. Stay hydrated, people. NSX definitely a little bit quicker than Ace Killer at the minute. only a couple of seconds behind him. Nothing really to talk about. I've got, you know, I don't know how fast anybody is compared to anybody else in qualifying. Just see where people are getting it wrong or looking good, but that doesn't mean they're particularly gaining or losing any time. Let's see what your Vater can do. So straight into this new format this week. I think they did they do 40-minute races last week? Possibly. Pivo then 6 in that Renault. Again, strategies all over the place in race 1. There was drivers opting for 3-lap stints on the hard tyre, but having to do massive fuel saving. Drivers going for 2 laps, full tank of fuel and a set of mediums, and then other drivers going for half a tank, a set of softs, and stopping every lap. It was yeah, every kind of option known to man. Some drivers opting to go for 2 laps on their softs as well, and other drivers, not naming any names, Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to, some drivers opted to stick a set of intermediates on for a lap, and it rained for 2.5 corners. Not looking at anyone in particular. Old Fiction. Roadrunner looking alright so far. Again, it does make it very easy in qualifying when you've got Jose. Benson has joined the room. Unfortunately, Jose, no qualifying for you, so you start at the back. But that's fine, because Jose is a pretty damn quick driver. Singularis looking pretty good. Your Vater as well. So Pivo opted to go for that 3-lap stint on the hard tyres in race 1. Unfortunately, the last lap he just got swallowed up by a load of drivers who weren't on a fuel saving. Tyres were super fresh, and yeah, they just ate the time away off of GER Pivo, unfortunately. Maybe he won't opt to do that this time. We'll see. So a lot of drivers heading towards the Dottinger now then. No whooping. Get in the hole. Witty. Ahead of Popkind. Doesn't mean he's quicker. Oh, it does, because Popkind has got the anchors on and he is coasting. So Speedy XL has decided not to do a qualifying lap either. So Witty actually starts slightly higher up the order. Somebody else dropped themselves in the pits and restarted as well, I think. Look at this. Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to, has massively closed that gap up on Ace Killer. Does look... Oh, look at the speed difference. Oh my days, Old Fiction. So it's carrying 10 miles an hour plus faster than the BMW. And I think he was just caught out by the extra pace and the slipstream coming into that section. Wasn't able to brake and stuck it in the wall. But Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to at all tonight, has stuck it on pole for the time being. 2.5 seconds. Oh, sorry, I'm lying. It's Roadrunner who's come through to smash that one. Forget you, Old Fiction. It's Roadrunner, the fastest man on track so far. 2.5 seconds ahead of Old Fiction. 6 minutes 17 on the board for him. Old Fiction's currently second. Ace Killer third. Singularis crossed the line. He takes fourth. Piwo is just coming up to the line now. Oh, chucks himself into second. Bondo, where will he go? He also takes second, pushes Piwo down a position then. Jesus, again, pretty quick driver. Oh, he stays sixth. Singularis just gets ahead of Singularis. Witty onto the back straight now then. Is he going to put a qualifying time in? Don't know. Hotkind certainly won't. Oh, it was your Veta that dropped in the pits and came back out. Okay. Speedy XL going to be at the back as well. And if Joe Benson stuck around, did I see him leave? Or did I see him leave the lobby? He will also start at the back. But it is this man on pole currently. It's only Witty to cross the line, so we're assuming that it is going to be him. Come on, Witty. Go on, gain a position, just found some pace somewhere, and no offence Singularis, just take Singularis. Oh, he stays 8th. Anyway, there he is. He's 8th on the grid. Potkind's going to be 9th, Speedy XL is going to be 10th, and it looks like your Veta is going to be 11th. As they decided not to put in a qualifying time. So it is this man on pole for race 2 tonight. Even got a Roadrunner plastered on the side of his car. Look. Beep beep. Well, there you go. Roadrunner on pole then. Bondo second. Piwo third in that Renault. Old Fiction 4th, Ace Killer 5th, Jesus in 6th, Singularis 7th, Witty in 8th, we've got Potkind 9th, Speedy XXL in 10th, and your Veta in 11th for this one. Not sure if I like this camera angle. It's a bit too unangulated for me. It's a little bit better, maybe. Microphone's in my face though. Don't know whether to put it back over there. What do you think? Okay, there is quali results then. Roadrunner on that top spot. Bondo second, Piwo third, Old Fiction 4th, Ace Killer 5th, Jesus 6th, Singularis 7th, Witty in 8th, Potkind 9th, Speedy in 10th, your Veta in 11th, and Whoopin in 12th. So, got 1 minute till race starts here. So same format as before, slightly different tyre wear and fuel depletion, but very similar format. drivers going to do off the line? Are we going to have drivers opting to go hard straight away? 3 laps on hards, a bit of fuel saving, 1 stop, another 3 laps on hards. It's possible. It's slow-ish, but is it any slower than, you know, single laps on soft and a pit at the end of every lap? Ooh, I don't know. We will find out in a second, though. Come on. There he is then. What? Roadrunner. Even though it doesn't say he's first, he is actually first. It will all rejig itself probably when they hit the first time in line. Just telling him to give way to faster cars. Don't do that. Off they go then for the last race of the evening. So Roadrunner leads. Don't worry about Jesus Media, he is not leading the race. That's just for some reason it goes a bit janky until we hit the first time in line and it'll all straighten out. Oh, it's already gone. Roadrunner then is first now. Piwo second then. Bondo third. Old Fiction fourth. Ace Killer fifth. Jesus in sixth. There is Jesus. Look, in the green Porsche. Singularis seventh. Potkind in eighth. Witty 9th, oh, keeps it on track through there. Speedy XXL in 10th and your Beta in 11th. So didn't have a look at any strategy or tyre combos as I flick through those. Soft tyre up front for Roadrunner, soft tyre on for Piwo, soft tyre on for Bondo, soft tyre on for Old Fiction. Medium tyre on for Ace Killer, so looking for that slightly longer stop already is Ace Killer. Medium tyres on board for Jesus, soft tyres on for Singularis. He looked pretty quick in his in the last race on that single lap soft tyre session, so see how he gets on this time. Soft tyre on for Potkind, mediums on for Speedy XXL. He's managed to find his way past Witty, also on the mediums. Your Beta has gone for the mediums. So nobody opting for the hard tyres just yet. Let's see a few drivers go for the maybe 2 sets of softs and a set of mediums. Sorry, 3 sets of softs. Oh, I don't know. It could be 2 sets of mediums and 2 sets of softs. Can almost get away with a set of softs for 2 laps, but you've got to be real careful with them over those 2 laps. Unfortunately, you'll lose an awful lot of time doing that. So Roadrunner not taking the risk. He's hammering it away from everybody else at the minute. 1.3 seconds the gap between him and Piwo. You can see we're already showing up on the soft tyre. Old Fiction not giving him any coverage tonight, sitting in third. 2.3 seconds behind Piwo. Still got 1.3 seconds ahead of Bondo. He's got a mirror full of Ace Killer right now. Making that overtake look easy on Bondo. Oh, Bondo, get on the grey bit. There you go. Unfortunately, he's just driven himself off track. Picks up no damage, but loses a bit of time to Ace Killer, and now he's got these boys closing up on him. Jesus, Singularis and Potkind, 3 Porsches getting a little bit closer to him as we head up towards the carousel. And oh no, carrying far too much speed through there. Jesus, Potkind getting the move on Jesus, but carrying far too much speed through that corner. Slings himself off track and allows Jesus to come back through, and Singularis. before he manages to get himself back on track. Ace Killer then 2.1 seconds behind Old Fiction. Kilo keeping himself right in the firing line for top spot at the minute, with Roadrunner just in front of him. Again, Porsche's tyres looking about half worn already, slightly over the halfway mark of these laps. I wouldn't risk 2 laps on those. Piwo's tyres looking very similar. Old Fiction the same. Ace Killer, plenty of life left in those. He will stay out when everybody else comes in. Bondo looking too bad again. Those soft tyres showed an awful lot more wear than the mediums. These boys will have 2 laps on those mediums. Again, you can do 2 laps on the soft, but they will be absolutely crying out to be changed by the time you get round to that pit stop at the end of lap 2. Singularis back under pressure here from Potkind. A little bit more wear on Potkind's tyres than everybody else's. He has done a couple of spinny rounds though, so elevator past Speedy XXL, past Witty as well. He's 24 seconds behind race leader, 8.6 behind Potkind. Medium tyre on board. What can he do from this position? He's a long way down at the minute. There's Speedy, 2.5 seconds behind him in the Lexus. And Witty, another 14 seconds down in the Nissan. So, Roadrunner still leads. Heading down this Dottinger straight then. Should come in for tyres. Those certainly won't do another lap, those set of softs. He's got enough fuel to do it, but his tyres certainly haven't got any life left in them. Piwo's in exactly the same position. Old Fiction will have to come in as well, I think, with those tyres, and Ace Killer will just drive past a lot of them. And he should have enough life left in those mediums to really press on this lap. Drivers behind might stick a set of soft tyres on, which will be quicker, but they'll have to make up all that time chasing down Ace Killer. And their tyres are only going to get slower the second they leave the pits, so have they made the right decision here? Jesus also goes through, so he's on that medium tyre strategy, as is your Vater. He was a long way down in the field by the time he came through the pits, so by the time he came across the line even. So he does come out in third, but he has now got these drivers very close behind him. Roadrunner comes out on a set of hard tyres, so might be opting for the 3-lapper, might just stick with 2 laps, we'll see. Speedy XL hasn't stopped yet either, so he's on that medium tyre strategy. Piwo comes out again, another hard tyre option here. Could be going for that 3-lap strategy. Hard tyre on for Old Fiction as well. Medium tyre on for Bondo, so we will be able to drive a little bit quicker, faster than the drivers on the hard tyre. Everyone's got to remember the rain is coming at some point in this race. Old Fiction with that fresh set of hards then. Witty hasn't stopped. Singularis has stopped. He's gone for a medium tyre full tank. Potkind Vectra has also stopped, so full tank and a fresh set of hards on for him. Okay, why have I got no lap times here between Ace Killer and Jesus? I'm going to have to count the damn things. Let's find a corner. Not this one. Next one. This one. He's about 7 or 8 seconds behind. About that, I don't think we can see Ace Killer at any point on track. Not looking like it, but for some reason no lap times on for Ace Killer. Elevator not stopping then, one of the medium tyre drivers from the get-go. Still got himself a little bit of room as well, 5.5 seconds behind to Roadrunner, who has stopped but on that hard tyre now when he's come out. Bondo has gone for the medium tyre, so he's already made a couple of overtakes, got himself past Piwo. He's hot on the heels of Roadrunner MTK here as well. We'll be able to get 2 laps out of those tyres and fuel. A little bit sideways there for Roadrunner leaving that corner. Bondo's going to make a short work of him then, running slow out of that turn, plus he's on the faster tyres as well, Bondo. Through he goes to 4th. Roadrunner now 5th, Piwo 6th. He's got an old fiction reasonably close to him, 1.6 seconds back. That NSX pretty quick in a straight line as well. Speedy double XL. A lot of wear showing on those mediums now. Certainly be glad to get in at the end of lap 2. Singularis went for the medium tyre in the first stop. Hard tyre for Potkind, and Whitty went for those. Oh no, he didn't stop, did he? Stayed out on the mediums. So Ace Killer, plenty of fuel in. Tyres looking a little bit worse for wear now. Still haven't got lap times for him, so let's just try and figure this out, shall we? Where's he going? Through there. I can't, which corner's that? Yeah, alright. Yeah, still about 7 seconds, I think. Still about the same. Don't know why it won't give me times. Lobbies are still booked even after all this time, PlayStation. I thought you'd be able to figure it out. Get literally only 16 drivers in a lobby together and make it all work. Over all the years they've been doing it, you'd think they'd be able to get it a little bit better than this, wouldn't you? Flying though at the minute, Ace Killer. Jesus, trying to chase him down, out on his own a little bit at the minute. Bondo 7 seconds behind him. And 4 seconds back to Roadrunner. Another 4 seconds back to Your Vater. He's been overtaken by 1 or 2 drivers, I think. What's third? Piwo, pretty close to him, being chased by Old Fiction, who we're not giving any coverage to tonight at all. He's closed up on the pair of them. Again, the NSX, dangerous car, very fast in a straight line, pretty good around the turns as well. Speedy XL, under pressure here from Singularis, so tyres pretty much blown out on Speedy's car. Oh, as he just drives himself off track there, trying to defend the position. There goes Singularis through on that grippier tyre. Yeah, nothing Speedy could do with that one. Potkind on that hard tyre, another 5 seconds behind Speedy, and Whitty another 11 seconds behind him. Back to the front then, Ace Killer. There he is, there is the headlights of Jesus just coming through there. Right. Yeah, still 7, maybe 8 seconds, maybe 8, 7.5, 8 seconds ish. So Bondo doesn't have to stop this lap. And doesn't, stays out. Roadrunner can stay out as well, so a couple of drivers have opted for that hard tyre stint. Whether they do the full 3 laps or 2 laps on those hard tyres is yet to be seen. Okay, so Let's get ourselves back on this one. Bondo then leads the race. Ace Killer has gone for soft tyre. So he's done the 2 laps on the mediums. He's now filled up with half a tank of fuel and a fresh set of soft tyres, so he can absolutely press this BMW now. Hot on the heels of race leader Bondo. Bondo on medium tyres, so nowhere near as quick as Ace Killer's. As Ace Killer pulled a blinder here. Roadrunner qualified first, but he's opted for the hard tyre at the end of lap 1. He's obviously going to run a little bit slower. Hard tyre on for Old Fiction. He's found his way past Piwo, who's also on that hard tyre. Jesus, out on a fresh set of softs himself. Can press then. Only 5 seconds behind those drivers on the hard tyre. Should make short work of those. Singularis on a semi-worn set of mediums. We just saw Jesus make short work of him. Potkind also on that hard tyre option. Veta on a fresh set of softs now can press, but he's gone for a full tank. Don't want to be doing 2 laps, and you certainly don't want to be carrying around half a tank of fuel that you don't need. Speedy Double XL in the pits. He's come out with a set of hard tyres. Full tank of fuel. And Whitty's gone for the mediums and a full tank himself. So, oof, Ace Killer getting a little bit floppy through there. Jesus and Ace Killer that have dropped themselves in for a set of soft tyres. Looks like Ace Killer just biding his time behind Bondo, looking for that right moment. Could be right here if he can get a good exit out of this turn. He doesn't. Bondo gets a bit of a pull on him out of this corner. That's where you want to make the move. Get the acceleration on behind. Oh, sorry, wrong corner. See, wrong corner. It's this corner. It's this corner, and Ace Killer has got a good exit. Look at that. Nothing Bondo can do. He knows Ace Killer's faster than him. Pulls over to the outside of the track. Ace Killer to go through, picks up the slipstream as soon as possible to try and drag him down this circuit and keep him up to max speed. Get a little bit of bump drafting to help the pair of them out as they head down this fast section. Now the second any kind of gap appears, you will just start to see that open up, I think. Again, slightly grippier tyre on board up front here with Ace Killer. Was 0.4, it's now up to 0.6, sorry, 0.8 as they come into the carousel. I can see that only opening up on the exit of the carousel. Bondo not even able to stay in it. There you go, look at that, gap climbing massively then. 1.1 seconds. That's the power of a slightly lighter car with grippier tyres. Again, Ace Killer opting for half a tank of fuel and a set of soft tyres at his pit stop. Everybody else opting for a full tank, I think. Strategic move by Ace Killer then, and it's working in his favour. He'll have to come in at the end of this lap, but Bondo will have to come in anyway. Roadrunner could stay out, but he's already 17 seconds behind a race leader. That might only extend as Ace Killer's on that faster tyre. Same for these boys. They all went for the hard tyre. Not Jesus. Jesus is on that soft tyre, but he did take on a full tank of fuel. He should have opted for the half a tank. It would have been obviously carrying less weight, making that Porsche a little bit quicker, slightly easier to throw around and get past these cars. So you can see him dipping his nose a couple of times there, having a look up the inside of Old Fiction. Just biding his time a little bit. Pivo keeping himself in the picture at the minute. Again, those hard tyres, difficult to work with. Medium tyres on board for Singularis. Definitely want to be coming in the pits at the end of his lap. Hard tyres on for Potkind. Could do another lap on those. Your Vater. He'll probably be in at the end of this lap. Those softs not looking too great. Plenty of life left in Speedy's hard tyres. Plenty of fuel on board as well. And a Witty, plenty of fuel. Tyres not looking too bad. Picked up a little bit of front end damage though. That will make his car run a little bit slow. Look at this Ace Killer onto the Dottinger straight. 6 seconds ahead of Bondo. And he's pulled more seconds ahead of Roadrunner as expected. Is it going to be enough to get him back out the pits ahead of these guys? He's still got a big blob of fuel in that BMW as well. Into the pits he comes then. Bondo should follow him in. It's going to be a short race for him if he doesn't. Roadrunner on that hard tyre, doesn't have to stop, might opt to though. Has got a big pile of drivers behind him he's got to think about. What are their strategies going to be? Roadrunner stays out, Piwo stays out, Old Fiction stays out, but Jesus comes in, gets rid of those soft tyres. He's only got to take on board tyres, he's got enough fuel on. He does save himself that little bit of time in the pits. Bondo's in, Singularis is in, Potkind Vectra doesn't have to come in, might opt to though. No, wide through there. Your Vater comes in, he's going to drop those softs off as well. He's opted for the full tank of fuel. Speedy miles away from the pits, doesn't have to stop anyway. And Witty miles away from the pits, doesn't have to stop. So Roadrunner back out front then on that hard tyre. Being harassed by GER Piwo, also on a hard tyre. Old Fiction behind him, who we're not giving any coverage to at all, is also on the hard tyre. But look, Ace Killer back out again. Fresh set of softs. Half a tank of fuel again. He's going to mash his way past these boys. Look at that, straight past... is he? Oh yeah, he's already past Old Fiction. Soft tyre just making itself work already. Roadrunner Piwo a little bit slow through that turn. Already pulling time on Old Fiction here. Short shifting as well for Ace Killer, getting himself all the way up to 6th, and so he's not having to accelerate through 3rd, 4th, 5th. Needs to find that little bit of space. Needs enough room to get a wing up the inside of one of these two. Let's get some bumper cam going. So he's still pulling a little bit of time over Old Fiction. Oh, there he goes, look at that, split second, and I missed the move on Piwo. It's a little bit of a wobble on the exit, but clean move nonetheless. Into second then for Ace Killer. Piwo trying to do everything he can to stick with him, but the hard tyres just not gripping up like they should be versus the softs. Ace Killer pulls away. Roadrunner really pressing his hards then to try and stay ahead of Ace Killer. Gotta be careful it doesn't cost him. Bit deep through there, Ace Killer just able to take that tighter line, put the power down a little bit early, side by side with Roadrunner through there, but look at that, the extra grip, just enough to pull him away from Roadrunner. A little bit slow through there for Roadrunner, he's under pressure himself from Piwo. Down into this right-hander back up the hill though, and this is now where you're going to see Ace Killer disappear. I'm lying. He didn't disappear quite as quick as I thought he would. He's starting to open that gap up now though. 0.7 of a second, 0.8 of a second. even with the slipstream from the drivers behind, they are just falling further and further back. Coasting through there. Oh, Roadrunner's gone too hot into it. And that's Pivo through. Old Fiction gets himself through as well. Roadrunner loses 2 positions with that little mistake. There he is, down to 4th. Hard tyres showing a big pile of wear on now. So are we going to see all drivers drop in the pits at the end of lap 4? Are they going to stick on a set of mediums, fill up with fuel, and that'll be it for pretty much everyone? I can imagine it is Ace Killer then stomping it away around then on those softs. 1/4 of a tank of fuel left on board. And then the next 3 drivers behind him, Pivo, Old Fiction and Roadrunner, all on a hard tyre stint. Won't be able to pile any kind of pressure on Ace Killer. Bondo on the mediums. He'll still have to come in for fuel or tyres at the end of this lap, unless he's opting for a 3-lapper on mediums, but I don't think that's going to work out too well for him. Potkind then up to 6th, but he's going to have to come in hard tyres. Looking pretty bad at the minute. Singularis right behind him as well on a semi-worn set of softs. Just looking for that spot. Your Vater on the softs, but he's been into the wall somewhere, Your Vater. Going to slow him down a little bit. Jesus then, he's now got the hard tyres on, full tank of fuel. He might be opting to try and finish this race on that setup, we'll see. Speedy Double XL will probably have to come in for tyres at the end of this lap, maybe. Can do another lap, I think. Witty's gone for medium tyres and a full tank as well. He'll probably have to stop again before the end of this one. He's Killer then. Through the mini carousel he goes. Plenty of fuel still left on board that BMW. Tyres looking a little bit worse for wear, but he has only got this Dottinger straight to put a bit of pressure on them. Few corners at the end of it, and then he can throw himself in the pits, and he has gained himself 4.8 seconds by the time he hits the Dottinger straight. And he's actually holding a little bit more fuel than some of the drivers behind him, which means he spends less time in the pits filling up with fuel. But the rain's here. This could absolutely change things completely and turn them on their heads. Now, I did say the last 3 stints of this one were going to be moist. So what tyres do people put on? Do they stick on a set of full wets? Do they stick on a set of inters? The rain bar in the bottom left is slowly increasing as I sit and watch it. So the rain getting slightly heavier, but it will lighten off by the end of the race. How do they go for the inters? Do they go for the full wets? Got to take on board full fuel as well. Pivo's got to make the same decisions. Same for Old Fiction, same for Roadrunner. Bondo! Bondo! So Bondo's not come in the pits. Bondo, you should have come in for tyres only, bro. You should have come in for tyres only, brother. And you, Your Vater. You both should have opted for tyres. Your Vater might have got it all wrong, though. He might have already passed the pits. Oh, no, he has managed to get in, but he's taken about 3 attempts to do it. Okay, back to these drivers who have stopped then. Full set of wets on board for Ace Killer. He has gone for the full tank. He's taking his time though. And so he should really. Pivo also gone for the full wets. Old Fiction has gone full wets. Bondo staying with the racing mediums, but that's going to cost you, my friend. That's going to be absolutely disastrous. I think this whole lap is going to be sopping, and I think you're only going to see the rain drop off a little bit at the end of lap 6, maybe halfway through lap 6, maybe slightly earlier, but at the moment It's not looking good for the drivers that haven't stopped. There you go. There you go. Roadrunner just trying to go around a corner. The car said, yeah, I'll go around a corner, but I'm just going to keep going around that corner, even when you want to go straight again. Singularis has gone for the intermediates. Okay, that might work out as it dries off later. We'll see. Popkind has gone for full wets. Inter's on for your Veta. Speedy XL just in the pits now. And Whitty creeping his way round in 11th. Not even on the Dottinger straight. So, Ace Killer. Still driving alright. 4.5 seconds lead over Piwo. Now, Ace Killer in that BMW. The BMW is a big, big, heavy car. The Renault, not so much. A lot lighter, a lot more agile. Might be able to just make it grip a little bit better. Won't be so prone to sliding itself. You couldn't make it up. I swear to God you couldn't make it up. It's not scripted at all, alright? I promise. Well, now then, as long as Ace Killer doesn't... In fact, do you know what? Ace Killer, 13.2 seconds in the lead. I'm not saying what Ace Killer has got to do or hasn't got to do, because whatever I say might happen. Piwo, driving. Old Fiction also driving quite close to Piwo. Ah dear. Inter's doing alright alright still. Are they getting swallowed up by the drivers on the wet tyres a little bit? Gap's quite big between the two. Singularis also on that intermediate tyre. Intermediate's on for your Veta. Full wet's on for Popkind. Roadrunner is still on the racing mediums. He's got damage everywhere on that poor Porsche. Bondo on the racing mediums as well. So look how slow they're having to go compared to the drivers on the wets or the Inters. Speedy Double XL is on the wets. It's not helping him out too much. And Whitty still heading towards pit lane. So is it getting slightly less rain? Nope, not by the looks of that. Tipping it down still here at Nordshleife then. Still 13 seconds up front for Ace Killer. Oh, so wet it pushed him out of the carousel. That's a banked turn. That's very, very difficult to do. He has gained more time. Oh, look at that. Old Fiction can't even stay in there either. He's still being chased by Piwo here. And at any point, the rear end could just light the rear tyres up and send any one of these boys into the wall. Piwo looking to get that Renault back past the Honda. Weather conditions just not letting anybody do what they want to do without it almost costing them a race position. This killer's not really got a lot to think about in terms of, you know, he's got nobody in his rear view mirrors harassing him. He can't even really see headlights on track from other drivers, so he's just got to concentrate on what's in front of him. Seems to be working. Still tipping it down here at Nordshleife then. The wets still in their perfect conditions. If it dries out a little bit, we will start to see the wear kick in. We'll see, he's still tipping it down for that whole lap here then at Nords. It is supposed to get a little bit better before the end of this race, so we'll see. Will drivers opt to stick with the wet tyre? So although it says it might be wet for the last stint, it doesn't mean it's going to be wet all over this circuit. Ace Killer through the mini carousel then, up towards Swallowtail. Gets a little bit of a slide on through there, holds it though. As he hits the Dottinger straight, he has got, well, let's just see what his timing mark says as he crosses under here. 42 seconds, 15 seconds ahead of Old Fiction. Now, is he looking at weather radar? I don't get the option to do that. Yeah, you see it's not raining as much right here. Now the track will still be wet, but I can imagine by the time they get to the end of the second lap here in the wet, there will be a bit of a dry line appearing. Ace Killer stays out though, he's going to do this final lap on the wet tyre. There is still wet on the circuit, so it will benefit him, but like I say, by the time they get to the end of this lap, if the rain stops, there will be a dry line appear and those wets will burn out quickly. So you might see that Ace Killer stops looking for the wet parts of the circuit in the latter stages of this race, or the latter stages of this lap. Again, if the dry line starts to appear, you will just need to keep those tyres cool, so on some of the straights and things like that you will see him drive onto the wet parts of the circuit just to get a bit of cooling into those tyres. But look at the time he's got, 34 seconds out front to play with. Old Fiction, the next man out on track, he's stopped in the pits for a fresh set of inters. Piwo's done the same, Your Vator's done the same, Jesus has come in as well, stuck a set of inters on. Singularis in the pits, full set of wet still on for Potkind. You can see there's the dry line appearing already. That's on this particular part of the circuit, doesn't mean it's going to be everywhere. Singularis just leaving the pits then. Speedy Double XL, there is a dry line appearing for him at the back end of this circuit. Roadrunner MTK finds himself with 1.5 seconds penalty. And lose that coming down here. You watch how much time and speed he loses. What's he doing? 130 something when he hits that down to 80 something when he hits it. 40 mile an hour loss. And he's got to build all that speed back up. Unfortunately, these boys on the racing tyres now, although their tyres are probably in the, well, on the dry bit, they're perfectly alright. On the wet bit, they're not. Whitty's gone for the soft tyres at the end, but he's not seeing a dry line at the minute, unfortunately. There is Ace Killer looking for those wet lines, look. He's still got a little bit of moisture on this circuit, but it's running out. Certainly stopped raining for sure. Still plenty of spray coming off the back of this car, which does tell me that the wets might still be a valid tyre here for the time being anyway. It does look like the sun's coming out. We'll dry the track out a little bit. You can just start to see a bit of a line appearing now. And you will see Ace Killer. Oh, you will, there you go. Pulls over to the right hand side. Look, looks for a little bit of that water. Try and keep those tyres cool as possible. Whitty then just pulls over, allows Ace Killer through. He's still holding 28 seconds lead at the minute, Ace Killer. Still plenty of spray coming off the back of that BMW as well. Again, it tells me there's still plenty of wetness on this track to keep those tyres cool before the end of this race. Still losing a little bit of time to the drivers behind on the Inters. It's twice, Piwo. Vater, Inters starting to heat up now then, so he is seeing a bit of a dry line. You can tell, look at that, you can certainly see the dry line here. Again, he's looking for those wet parts of the circuit as well to try and keep these tyres cool. Let's just get on board with Ace Killer. There you go. You see the two different colours of track now for sure. Slightly lighter bit being the drier part of the track, which will start to burn out the softs pretty damn quick. We'll see Ace Killer steering across this track, especially on the straighter sections, looking for those slight wet puddles, just to try and keep a bit of moisture in these, keep the temperature down, sorry, in these wet tyres. As he comes towards the end, look, even there, he's losing so much time taking that line. It's got to be done though, it's got to be done. Look, out to the left hand side to try and get some water on them. Again, staying to the left here, look, just picking up a bit of moisture. Definite dry line showing up. He's not losing any time to the drivers behind. The drivers behind are on the intermediate tyre as well, which obviously they don't work so well in the dry sections either, so they'll be doing exactly the same thing as Ace Killer, looking for a little bit of that moisture just to keep the tyres cool, try not to burn them out before the end of this race. Again, Ace Killer is another 30 seconds ahead of everybody else on track. So they've got 30 seconds of cooling to try and keep up with him. Through the carousel, mini carousel, sorry, up towards Swallowtail then, last time tonight. Look at the dry line. Unfortunately, again, if you stick a set of racing tyres on, if you step outside of that dry line, it means a trip to the wall of 100%. Ace Killer then dipping onto the wet, full wet part of the circuit. Get that thing kicking up some spray again, cool those tyres down. Look how much they've worn out on that last lap. Absolutely broken now. Second he hits the dry stuff, they just heat up, they start to wear out. Literally nobody even on the Dottinger straight yet that we can see. It's certainly is a substantial win for Ace Killer here. 30 seconds win after 6 laps. Again, the rain came in, it did play its part. Ace Killer got his strategy bang on. Stuck a set of wets on for the last 2 laps. Made them work. Blown out as they are by the time he crosses the line. He does take the win then in race 2. Old Fiction again on that wet part of the circuit. Not that we're giving him any coverage at all tonight. He's looked pretty confident in that NSX tonight, has Old Fiction. There he is, up towards the line. The Inters, as you can see, not quite as burnt out as the wets are. Obviously they're not a full wet tyre, so when it dries out. Piwo in the same position on that intermediate tyre, take third. On that intermediate tyre, take third. Your Vater. Inter's absolutely blown out, but he does come home to take. Inter's absolutely blown out, but he does come home to take 4th. Jesus in the same position. Tyres absolutely destroyed, but he will take a 5th. Singularis has dropped a set of soft tyres on at the end of that last lap by the looks of it. And he's going to spank his way home to 8th position here. sorry, 6th position. Why did I say 8th? I don't know why I said 8th. 6th position for Singularis. Potkind. All 4 wet tyres. Dead. Kaput. I know you know that word. Just hitting the Dottinger straight though. Roadrunner, Speedy, and Bondo's actually already crossed the line, so he was a lap behind almost. Comes home in 10th. Whitty comes home in 11th, so we wait for Potkind, who's got no tyres. We wait for Roadrunner MTK, unfortunately. He's a little bit far back, 17 seconds from Potkind. Although he's got plenty of life left in those medium tyres. Potkind has just got to get around these next few corners. Yeah, well, we'll see. Does he even go around a corner when they're all red like that? Let's find out. He can probably crash and still get across the line ahead of... oh, ouch. Maybe he can't. Here comes Roadrunner. Oh, Potkind tries to put the hammer down. It spins round. Roadrunner is going to stick those medium tyres past him. And he's going to come home for 7th. All you had to do, Potkind, was get round those last 2 corners. But no, it said no. There it is. That's another evening of Ringcraft done and dusted. Great result there by Ace Killer. 30 seconds lead by the end of 6 laps. Again, just strategy coming into play. Putting the right tyres on at the right time was enough. And there it is, done and dusted. So slightly different to the previous weeks. 2 races, but 6 lappers rather than 4 races and 3 lappers. What do you think? Do you like the format more? Do you like it less? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I don't mind either setting. But there it is, another night of Ringcraft action. So I'm back same time, same place next week for more of this, and then tomorrow night I'm here 9 o'clock for the next round of the P1 league. Why don't I know what that is? Why don't I know what that is? Audis? Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.